Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We're live after 5 a.m. and we are creating a Count Me In app where we're going to count and display how many times you hit up, down, left, and right. Every time you hit these buttons, we're going to count how many times you hit the buttons. Are you with me on that? Everybody cool with that? And then let's get this enable button to work, where if you hit this button right here, if you check it, the app's going to work. You can click the buttons. And if you uncheck it, the app doesn't work anymore. You guys understand that? Okay, so you're either going to allow the app to work or not to work. Then I guess we'll do reset and a little bit of voice here. Okay? You ready to go? Everybody ready? All right. Let's go see what's going on with our app. Looking pretty good. We have variables up here. These variables are going to allow you to remember what you're counting. Count left, count up, count down, count right. Player's first name we're not going to use. And the game time. I think last week we got the game time working. Yes, we did. It's right here. So, yep, there's your game time. That's working. If the game is equal to 0, then we're going to say to the person, game over, and the clock's going to stop running. Okay? You guys get all that? If not, you can go back and watch last week's video. Okay, so here is where we are clicking. We're clicking on the button and we're moving the player. Actually, we added 1 to the count. Here it is. We're adding 1. We move the player. Yoshi ups, and then we display counts. Okay. So here we added 1. We moved the player. We said Yoshi down, and then we display it. Okay, we never displayed it. That's what we didn't do. We did not display the. We did not display. It's not going to display your counts, okay? So I'm going to go right here since I spelled it wrong, and I'm going to say display my counts. Okay, and now it's all spelled correctly. All right, so now all we have to do is display the counts. I want the counts to look something like this. Left, right, colon, how many do you have? Up, colon, how many do you have? Down, colon, how many do you have? Right, colon, how many do you have? I want it to look something like this. Are you with me on that? Can you shut that door for me? Okay, does everybody understand this? I want it to look something like this up here. Keep it in that order. So we're going to go left, up, down, right. Who can remember that for me? Left, up, down, right. Thank you. L-U-D-R. L-U-D-R. Right? Jot it down in your paper. All right. Okay. So, where do we want to display our directions at? What's the name of our label that's going to display them? LBL what? Okay, let's go back to your designer. If you don't know, let's click on this blue guy here. What's the name of this label right here? Hello? Anybody out there? Anybody home? Well, I can tell it's first day after break and everybody's tired. Kimberly, what's the name of this label up here? Which one do you want to display it in? Do you have one called LBL direction count? Do you have one called LBL time? Okay, so the one for LBL time displays the time, correct? The one for LBL direction count displays the direction count. Are you with me on that? Are you getting this? Is this that hard? No. So, I want to go back to my LBL direction count, and I'm going to set its text. Okay, and I'm going to put a join in there. Go to your text box and get a join. Okay, we're back. We're ready here. Who's with me on this? So I'm going to create a label. I want to display in its text on the label, right? And I want to display left, up, down, and right. Okay? So what we're going to do here is do a big, huge join. And you guys remember these little blue morph buttons? You guys see the little blue morph button? You want to go ahead and drag in a bunch of strings in here. How many do I need? I think I need 3 times 4. I think I need 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You need a bunch. This is going to be one big, huge display. Okay, who knows how to use that morph button, the little blue button? Raise your hand if you know how to do that. Thumbs down if you don't know how to do that. All right, so I'm going to make a big, huge display out of this. Remember I said it's going to be harder because we're going to we're only going to use one label. I'm going to get this done with all one label. So it takes a little bit more work, but all you have to do is say display my counts every time, and it'll come down here and display it. Okay, so we're going to go get a text box up here. And the first one is going to say left colon space. And then you just go get your variable. What variable do I want to go get? I want to go get my count left. And then here's the weird thing that I've learned about this. You need a space after it. If not, you're left, and then the next one's going to be jammed up against the word or the number, and you don't want to do that. Okay? So now I can just copy and paste this stuff here and just work my way down. Left, the next one is up, colon, space. Go ahead and grab the variable. The next variable is going to be up, and then I'm going to put in a space. And I'm going to work my way down again. Left, up, down, space. And I'm going to duplicate this. This is going to be count down. And the next one is going to be left, up, down, right. Colon, space. And you're going to put a variable in here. It's going to be right. And you're going to copy the space. Oops. Don't need to remove. I don't need that comment there. And you're going to put in a space bar, and then I'm done. And it should go and display all of your counts. So when you hit your buttons, it should count how many times you hit each one of those buttons. Why can't I keep count up here? Global count left. equals global count plus 1. And why can I display that count down here? The reason why is because it's a global. What's global? When you think of global, what's it mean to you when you hear the word global? The entire world, worldwide, right? Jaden is known globally. That's how famous she is. So if she is known globally, right, then no matter where you go in the world, you know, she's going to be known. It's not local. All right, let's say you were the most famous person in Fairfield. That'd be cool, right? But that's local. Just because you're the most famous person in Fairfield doesn't mean you're the most famous person in the world. Are you with me on that? Global. So global can be used anywhere in the world. So when you create one of these global variables, get global count left, it can be used anywhere in the program and remembered. Okay? How do we do on that? Pretty good? Pretty easy? And not if you just sit and do one little thing at a time. You know, it's not that hard. All right, what's next? The reset button? All right. So think to yourself, what should happen when you reset this game? Erase what? The scores, the counts, right? All the counts go back to what? 0. Very good, Jade. All the counts go back to 0. Okay? So all we have to do right here is go set our variables. Okay? So I'm going to go set each variable. Count down. Okay? What am I going to set it back to? Jade's right. 0. Okay? And then I'm going to duplicate this. Duplicate that. Duplicate that one. And then this is going to be count left to 0, count right goes to 0, and count up goes to 0. Oh, wow, I almost forgot one more thing. What happens to the time? If you reset the game, what should happen to your time? Time's got to get reset. What does the time go back to? We could go all the way up here to the beginning. What does time have to go back to? Oh, look right here. What's time go back to? Where did we start time at? 60 seconds. So you want to go right back here and initialize this back to 60. Does that make sense, everybody? Okay, so I'm going to go back in my variable and I just say, okay, what does time go to? Well, when I reset it, time doesn't go to 0. Time goes back to 60 seconds. So you're going to put in here 60 seconds. And now we have to display it. So the cool thing is I have display my counts. That's an easy one. We've already done display my counts. Remember right here I display my counts? That's why I love procedure calls. Because once you make them, you don't have to make them anymore. Okay? And then somewhere up here we displayed time. You're not taking the test, or you are? So here's my time where I displayed time. So can you go find my channel, my YouTube channel? And I'm going to copy and paste that and just put time in there. We have created a procedure for that. We could have if you wanted to. We could create a procedure. Let's create a procedure for that. So over here we'll call display time. Display my game time. Okay, so there it is. I can take this, put it over there. Does it really matter? Not really. display my game time. Okay. And now it's going to display your game time. Okay. So your reset's done. Maybe if you're doing a video game here, right? Another vein inside of the reset button might be, how many lives does your player have? If they have 3 lives, let's reset them back to 3 lives. Are you with me on that? So you guys see how you just stop and think about what you want to occur, what do you want to happen, what's the desired event that you want to happen. You just sit and think about one little thing at a time. That's called problem decomposition. I propose to you, you don't have to be a genius to do this class. Are you with me on that? You don't have to do you have to be a genius to learn how to read? No. Do you have to be a genius to learn how to do math? No. Remember the video? Do you have to be a genius to learn a new language? English, Spanish, French, German? No. But what you need to be able to do is stop and think and problem decomposition. Break the problem down into small parts. Can you sit and think about what do I want to do when I want to reset the button? Okay. All right. The next thing I'm going to do is this little checkbox. Okay, the enabled button. If you don't have this on your screen, just go ahead and add it. I simply added a horizontal arrangement. I centered the arrangement, and I put the checkbox in the middle of it. Let's go ahead and rename this. So we're going to call it CHB enabled. And this checkbox is going to allow, it's going to be like the safety of the app to allow you to turn it on, turn it off. This is a Boolean expression. You guys, that's a test question, so you need to understand Boolean expression. Boolean expressions are true or false. Okay? Is this light on, true or false? False. Okay? The middle light, is it on, true or false? True. Okay, well now be careful here. Watch this. The third light, closest to the window, is that light off? What's your answer? False, right? Because it's not off, it's on. So you got to be careful on how you ask questions. You can always ask them 2 different ways. Is the light on? Is the light off? So in computer science, you have to answer the question, and that's true for life too. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do here is we're going to click on the checkbox, and it has a change of states. What's a change of state? Okay. Allison, can you jump up there to that light switch for me? Allison's going to jump up to the light switch for me. The light switch. Pick one and press it. She just changed the state. What state did she change it from, and what state did she change it to? She went from off. Good, Jaden. She went from off to on. Can you do it again? Okay, now what's she going to do? She's going to change the state. What's she going to change it from? On to off. So we're either going from on to off or off to on. Are you with me? Does that make sense? So you just got to figure out what state you were in, what state did you go to, what state are you in now, and what state can you go back to. Does that make sense? You either turn it on, turn it off. So that's an if statement. So you're going to control it with an if. If. Okay? So if the check enabled, okay, I think we did an equal sign here. If the check enabled Okay, so here it is, checked. Okay, so if checked is equal to true, and then you have another one in here, else if the check is equal to false. Okay, so you got to decide what do you want to happen if it's equal to true and if it's equal to false. Are you with me on that? Okay. So if it's checked, it works. If it's not checked, it doesn't work. So I'm going to take all these buttons right here, and I'm going to set them enabled to be false. I'm just going to turn off all my buttons so you cannot click on them anymore, and you cannot get scores. So I'm just going to duplicate this. BTN down. Duplicate this. BTN left. Duplicate this. BTN right. I guess I should do the fire and shoot button also. And I guess you can't jump either. So I'm not going to let you jump. So does anybody guess what's going to happen when you check it? What are all these going to turn to if you check it? All these falses are going to go to what? True. Okay, so watch this. I'm going to duplicate this whole thing. I'm going to drag out all these buttons and put them in here. Okay, delete that. And what am I going to do here? All these go to, anybody want to guess what all the falses go to? True. 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 And true. And now I can count. Should we turn the time off if you click it, enable it, and disable it? Do you want to do that? Could we do that? Ben, could we do that? Where? Yep, you're right. Thank you. Good eyes. Okay. Could I turn the time off? Sure. So I could go down to my clock game time and set game time enabled to here. You're just going to copy this. It's going to be true. And down here, guess what it's going to be? Game time's going to go to false. Okay? What happens if you wanted your sprite to appear and disappear? Could we do that? When you check it, could you disappear and appear the sprite? Yeah, so let's go do that. I'm going to show you how to do that. So image sprite.visible. So here I'm going to set this image sprite player visible to true. And I'm going to duplicate that. Do you guys see how coding is a lot of duplicating? Who's starting to see that coding is just a lot of duplicating? Down here, what should it be? If I uncheck it, what should happen to my sprite? Should its visible be true or false? What do you think? False. So I'm just going to set this guy to false. All right? So now the only thing we have to do here, we only got a few minutes left, is just a little bit of voice recognition. Where's my BTN voice? Here it is. BTN voice, click it. And I'm not going to do a lot of voice recognition because we did it last time. You're going to call the speech recognizer. And then remember the last time you had to do something after you get the text. Okay? After you get the text, you have to figure out what they said, right? If the result is equal to, so go to your logic green box. If this result, remember how to hover over that, get the result. And I'm not going to do a lot today. I'm just going to say disable. And then here, I'll put another else if. And if they say enable, okay? So, if they say disable, then I'm going to take my checkbox and set its checked to true. I can go grab one of these. And if they say, nope, that's wrong, disable is false. And then if they say enable, oops, what happened? Mess that guy up. Grab the wrong one. If they say enable, then this guy goes to true. All right? Could they say pause or play? So really, if they say pause, okay, duplicate that. If they say play, okay. Pause, what would pause do? It would change it to false, right? And if they say play, you're going to send that back to true. Okay? And that's it. Give your neighbor a high five and say congratulations, you completed your second app.